let's check in on the Golden State Warriors because they are going streaking, but it's not in the good, fun way. Golden State has lost 3 straight games. They take on the Magic at home tonight, a team which beat them 3 straight times. So let's take a listen to Steve Kerr, Steph Curry on the current state of the Warriors.
We haven't found that grit that every team needs, every good team needs. We're not there yet, and that's a problem. Until this team really connects in a way that is solely dedicated to winning each and every game, then we're going to be stuck in this place.
We've experimented a lot, some for, forced reasons, some for searching for an identity. We haven't found it collectively, so it's frustrating for sure, 32 games in. So we have to get to that point before it's too late.
So the Warriors have been in the middle of the pack, both offensively and defensively this season. They've been streaky too. Multiple 5-game win streaks balanced out by 6-game losing streaks, and then a pair of 3-game losing streaks here. And it kind of feels like fool's gold, Zach, because at the beginning of the season, we were all like, okay, I don't really know what we like about this roster, what we don't like about this roster. How does Chris Paul fit? What is this going to look like? But then Steph gets off to the start. It's like, oh my gosh, okay, maybe actually we're going to believe. Then Draymond's. Then Steph comes back to earth a little bit, and now they have all of these issues. So when you look at Golden State, do you think that the clock is running out on this team figuring it out for the season?
What a far cry those comments Steve Kerr just made about we got to get connected, we got to find our identity. From when they were 6-2 and they won a crunch time game against, I can't remember who, he said, this is who we are. Remember this team? We win every close game. We win on the road. We're back. The Warriors are back. And they've just lost the plot almost exactly since that moment. And when you talk about sort of connectiveness, and that, I think, to me, comes through on defense. And since Draymond Green's suspension, their offense has been fine. Their defense has been bottom 10. And it's hard to build that grit and the connectedness and that identity when you can't decide who to play and when to play them. And I'm not saying that's Steve Kerr's fault. It's just the lineup changes all the time. The rotation changes all the time. And it feels like this team is just in such a state of flux all around the roster that it's going to be an uphill battle to find itself and right itself again before it's too late. Just getting into the top 10 and the top 6 in the West is really, really hard, and the turnaround has to start now.
The battery died on that clock 1.5 years ago, and I keep telling y'all this. Look, let me explain something. The Jackson 5, that group broke up. The 5 Heartbeats broke up. The Temptations broke up. Hell, Destiny's Child even broke up. So at the end of the day, I don't know why we so, wanting to keep this team together. It's time for a change of scenery. It's time for new bodies in Golden State uniforms.
Who do you want to see in Golden State, though?
Klay Thompson. I'm just saying it's time for Klay Thompson to get a change of scenery. It's time for Andrew Wiggins to get a change of scenery. Like, Steve Kerr's all over the place. Zach just talked about it. 1 minute, oh yeah, we found it, here it goes. But no, they haven't found it. And here's the reality to it. They might make the play-in tournament, and if they do happen to get in the playoffs, there'll be a first-round exit. This team is dysfunctional, and it's okay that we just have to accept the fact that it's time to just break it up.
I think
the experiment has blown up.
The question of that people might accept that, it's just for who, Chiney?
Yeah.
What are they lacking?
I think the difficulty is for the Golden State Warriors, breaking it up would be a very personal decision, and that's something that they would take so seriously. But honestly, what I take personally is you mentioned in Destiny's Child, because Beyonce went solo. Steph Curry can't go solo. We play team sports. But when I think about the Golden State Warriors, the magic is that they have made us all believers. They're a team full of underdogs that overachieve, but it feels like they've squeezed all of the juice out of that magic with the exception of Steph. So what do you do? And when I think about this big picture, I think about the last dynasty that we may have had, the Spurs, right? Something similar, a team that was great sustainably in the West. What did the Spurs do? They got a Kawhi, right? And Kawhi became the guy that was young, that infused them with ability. I don't see the Warriors getting something like that at this point. And it's like, what is the blueprint for this?
But does Steph have to ask for the change? You know what I mean? Like, and
it's a new
all of
year.
us are saying, things need to change. We want to see something change. But no one said, well, what is that? And that's the thing that I'm struggling with. Is it Pascal Siakam? What is it for Golden State?
That's it right there. It would have to come from Steph.
And that's the tough part of all that.
Cardi where I pull up long range. Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. It's NBA, it's ESPN.